109 years running, K-State, Iowa State, no head-to-head, has more one-score games since 2008. They added another on Old Sod in Dublin. CFP season opener in Ireland. Number 17, K-State. Number 22, Iowa State from Aviva Stadium. It was rainy, it was murky, and the Cyclones struck first. From just outside the red zone, Rocco Beck to Dominic Overby. 19th straight game with a passing touchdown for Beck. Longest active streak in FBS. Cyclones up 7-0 after one. Second quarter, same score. Here comes Wichita native Avery Johnson. 32 touchdowns accounted for last year.
What he does.
First on the account this year, 10-yard trot. It's 7-all at the half. It was sloppy early. There were some fumbles. Second half, teams lock in. Iowa State on the fringe of the red zone again. Brett Eskilson with the McGregor Selly on his first career touchdown. Clones up 7 after 3. Fourth quarter, strap in. Johnson to a lonely Jace Brown. 37-yard touchdown as K-State ties it up. Under 9 to play. K-State down 3, going for it on 4th and 1 from their own 30. Johnson is swarmed. He's a big dude. It takes a village, and half of Ames showed up. They reviewed it. He was short. Iowa State now in great field position. 4 plays later, they cash in. Becht, get you a QB who can do both. 7-yard score. Dad loves it. Iowa State up 10. K-State responds immediately, like the first snap of the next drive. Johnson to Jerron Bradley for 65. Goodbye. Johnson threw for 273. Wildcats within a field goal, but need a stop. 4th and 3. From the K-State red zone, Iowa State's going for it. Passing up on a 34-yard field goal and passing to Carson Hansen for what we thought was a clinching touchdown.
No.
He was ruled short on review, but that actually benefited Iowa State. They ran out the clock. Matt Campbell's 100th career win to kick off the season.
Coach Lee Corso, Charles Barkley here. I just want to thank you for being on the greatest college football show ever. What you meant for that show and for the game can't be measured.
Want to wish the great Coach Corso congratulations on an unprecedented career.
I have a little headgear I'm going to try on. Because you know what Ricky Bobby says? If you ain't first, you're last. Woo!
Hi, Coach Corso. It's Ken Jung. It's Mr. Chow. You're my daddy. And you are also beloved. Thank you for everything you've done for the game of college football.
Yeah, we are officially underway in the college football season. Paul Finebaum, Heather Dinich waking up, hitting those alarms early here on a Sunday morning. And guys, we are days away from a loaded week 1. Paul, I want to start with you. We can look at just the AP top 10. We got 7 teams with the new QB under center. Which quarterback leaves you with the most questions heading into that opening week?
That is Gunnar Stockton at Georgia, and there has been a big narrative after he took over for Carson Beck late last year. He was not spectacular when he played against Notre Dame in the Sugar Bowl, but some of that was the coaching on the sideline. But I'm just worried about him in this moment. He is well loved by his teammates. That's what I hear from the team. But can he handle the moment? He won't have one for a few weeks, but he will see Alabama at the end of September, and Alabama seems to have Georgia's number lately.
HD, I want to stay right there. Paul brings up Georgia. This is a team that's a perennial powerhouse, 8 straight seasons finishing in the top 10. What's the rest of the sport saying about the Dogs' outlook this year?
Well, there's nothing but respect throughout the country for Kirby Smart and Georgia and what he's done there. I mean, this is a program that is 53-5 over the past 4 years. The All-State Playoff predictor has Georgia with the second best chances of reaching the national title game at 18% behind Texas, which has gotten all of the love this preseason. Cough, cough, Paul Finebaum. But if Georgia is going to get back to that national championship game, they've got to do a better job in the passing game. He mentioned Gunnar Stockton, but the receivers cannot drop the balls like they did last year. 35 dropped balls last year. They've got to find some more production out of that passing game. And also, they've lost a lot of talented players on defense over the past couple of years to the NFL draft. They've got to find some answers there as well.
Heather, we are barely into week 1, and we're already battling over these little things that have been going on all summer. Calm down. I'm not the one making Texas the favorite. That's the guys out in Vegas, okay? Give me a break.
Well, it's the Vegas and it's the playoff predictor, which I think we have a server just outside the studio here in Bristol. But, Paul, there is going to be significant shakeup, we assume, after week one. We've got 3 top 10 matchups for the first time ever in a week one, and that includes LSU at Clemson, a game with irrefutable playoff impact. To you, which fan base should be more concerned about championship chances coming out of that game?
Bill, I think Heather may even agree with me on this one, and that's LSU. Because if Clemson wins this game, it's not the end of the season for LSU by no means. They still have an amazing schedule, but the fan base is going to be fit to be tied, especially with the schedule they have in a couple weeks. They will then see Florida in about 2 weeks after that. But LSU has one of the top quarterbacks in the country. They went out and brought in a tremendous defense. They have elite athletes across the field. But this fan base just can't seem to win this opening game. They haven't won an opener since Joe Burrow was the quarterback in 2019.
Heather, I want to stick there again. I admit I'm as guilty here as anyone. You can just say, hey, big playoff impact with any matchup like this. But this is your wheelhouse. What are the ramifications for the playoff coming out of this game?
Well, it's interesting because it's important for both teams in very different ways. If Clemson wins this, it has a chance to go 2-0 against the SEC. Remember, they play rival South Carolina in the regular season finale. And if they go 2-0 against the SEC and win the ACC, not only are they a lock, but, I mean, they should be one of the top 4 teams in the country. And if they don't win the ACC and they're fighting for an at-large bid and 2-0 against the SEC, that's a non-conference resume that's going to be extremely difficult to top for other contenders in fighting for at-large bids. And then when you look at LSU, if they win that game, it's certainly huge. They have a chance to say, hey, we beat the eventual ACC champs. But if they lose that game, LSU's schedule is number 11th in the country. And if you're playing from behind in week one, that's going to be really, really tough not to finish as a 2 or even a 3-loss team. And while we will certainly have 3-loss teams under consideration by the selection committee, obviously the more you lose, the more dangerous it gets. Just ask Alabama, which got bumped out last year at number 11 as a 3-loss team.
Yeah, not just 7 top 25 opponents for LSU, but trips to Oxford, Tuscaloosa, and Norman on that schedule. All gets going facing Clemson Saturday, 7:30 Eastern on ABC. Paul, HD, thank you. Short flight to Atlanta, MEAC SWAC game, North Carolina Central and Southern. This is Southern running back Trey Holly. He's been bringing a Chucky doll with him every game since high school.
Wow.
80-yard touchdown run for Holly and Chucky. Here's the thing. They needed Freddie Krueger and Jason and all of them because they lost 31-14, but good moment there.
Stanford, Hawaii. Stanford kicking off after a field goal. Brandon White calls for a fair catch at the 1-yard line, America. Why he do that? His QB, Micah Alejado, is confused, like, come on, bro, what are you doing? So next play, Alejado is like, damn, he got me out here in the 1-yard line and everything. Strip, sack, touchdown in the end zone. The fair catch was costly for the Rainbow Warriors, but they still got the win by 3.
Yeah, despite their best efforts, they get a win. College football analyst, former college football quarterback Tom Luginbill with us now. Lugs, we've got regular season games in the books, man. Which quarterback caught your attention yesterday?
Without question, it was Kansas's Jalen Daniels. What an electrifying player. And I think anybody who's been following this Kansas program over the last few years has been just itching to see Jalen Daniels finish a season completely healthy. He is so dynamic, and he is such a pressure cooker for opposing defenses because the play is never over. He was 18 for 20 through the air, 3 touchdowns, did not turn the ball over, added another 47 yards on the ground. But this is a guy that can create, he can improvise, and Jim Zabrowski, the offensive coordinator, does a great job of accentuating his strengths and putting him in position to succeed.
8th career game with a touchdown hat trick for Daniels. They love him in Lawrence. Lugs, we love week 0. It was fun, but week 1 is loaded. 3 top 10 games, no shortage of storylines. What's one that you are following closely?
Well, Phil, I think this may be the best group of quarterbacks in college football that we've seen in 20 years, especially in the Big 12. But what we don't have are a lot of returning experience with our blue blood programs, right? You've got Julian Sayin stepping in at Ohio State, Arch Manning stepping in at Texas, Gunnar Stockton at Georgia, maybe a freshman in Bryce Underwood at Michigan. Dante Moore replaces 12 years of experience between Dylan Gabriel and Bo Nix out in Eugene. So how do some of these younger, less experienced quarterbacks who are joining teams with fantastic personnel around them perform? The stakes are at an all-time high, particularly in week one. This is going to be a great stage for some of these younger quarterbacks to prove their worth with their high-profile programs.
Stars will be born on this stage early in this season. Tom Luginbill, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
You want this, you got that.